Guess what day it is?
I don't know if you can see it here, but happy Camel Day. It is Wednesday. All right. Glad to have you guys. It's been a couple of days, and I've been trying to get this set up, but it is Mr. Winter. I got a new set of glasses, new mustache, and today is hump day. It is Wednesday, which means you are halfway through the school week. All right, and we're going to be doing some stuff here in class. All right. Since I assigned you guys some reading, I thought I'd go ahead and do that myself. But so it is the middle of the week. We are halfway through your lessons for the week, hey guys, and I have missed each and every one of you guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring back. All right. Okay. So guys, welcome to Mr. Winter's class, and we are going to go ahead, and by the way, I have just assigned, oh no, Mr. Winter, you didn't. Yes, I did. I assigned you guys your assignments for today. So, and I want you guys to make sure that you check in with me here. All right? And also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with today's work. So, today's reading, pages 87 to 92. And I thought today we'd do something a little bit different. Since you haven't seen me in a while, like I said, I thought we'd go ahead and we'd read it in class together. So, open your, and by the way, if you have not gotten your textbook, guys, if you've not gotten your book, all right, just a reminder, I have a whole stack of them over here on the wall. All you need to do is come to school. You can sign them out downstairs. You can sign them out here, as the case may be. So today, which was supposed to be yesterday, but I tried to get this knocked out, you know, my laptop camera decided it wanted to call it a day. Decided it didn't want to work. And so we had some technical issues that we were working on yesterday, but that's all right. Got my coffee. We've got our books. Let's get to work. All right. So, fur trade expands. Hey guys, fur trade. It's wabbit season. Okay? Wabbit season. We got our furs here. All right. We also got our beaver pelt. Oh, here. Yep. Fur trade expands. So, here we go, guys. All right. Now we're ready to read. Okay. Fur trade expands. The Pacific Northwest fur trade began with sailing ships bartering with a few coastal Indian tribes for sea otter pelts. All right, I don't see any otter pelts in here, but sea otter pelts. Hey guys, sea otter pelts. How did they get them? They trapped them. Now, in case you're feeling trapped at home, I know the feeling. I've got my trap right here in the classroom. All right, in case you're feeling trapped, don't hesitate to come on by for some studies. All right, well, we'll put our trap here next to the cannonball. All right, okay. Now back to our regular program. Okay, guys, so soon an inland fur trade developed with trading posts and forts, the first European and American settlements in the Northwest. By the way, will this be on your next test? Absolutely. All right, Chinese interest in sea otter pelts. Don't forget. Chinese interest in sea otter pelts, that drove it. Okay, and a European fashion for beaver hats. Isn't this lovely? All right, anyway guys, and coats created an insatiable demand that made the fur trade very profitable. Okay, so here we go guys. The first company, the British-owned Northwest Company. The British-owned Northwest Company established the first inland fur trading enterprise in the Pacific Northwest. The company employed a colorful group of scrappy and ambitious Englishmen, Scotsmen, and French Canadians. Oh, I better shift hats here. Scotsman. Oh, I got my Scottish hat here. All right, so hang on a second, guys. All right. Hang on a second. Get my Scottish hat here. All right. now we're good. All right, English, Scotsman, and French Canadians. Alexander Mackenzie, the first white man to cross the continent north of Mexico, worked for the Northwest Company. But their greatest explorer trader was David Thompson. All right, so next guy. Okay, we got the Northwest Company. Now, David Thompson. Now, in your notes, it talks about on your review questions, your chapter 3 review questions. Okay, David Thompson was on what? Hired by the WHO to survey and trade. Thompson had devoted what? All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through that. Okay, so David Thompson. The Northwest Company hired Englishmen. Hint, hint. All right, Northwest Company hired Englishman David Thompson as a surveyor and trader. He tramped and canoed thousands of miles in search of new fur trading lands and routes. Wherever Thompson went, he took pains to gather accurate measurements on the height, length, and breadth of the land. He charted mountains, lakes, and rivers. The Indians called him Man Who Watches Stars. Here we call that a space cadet. No. All right, anyway, Man Who Watches Stars. Because he often had his eye to his sextant ascertaining latitude and longitude. Now guys, being an old sailor, all right, latitude. Latitude meaning north and south, okay? It's however many degrees north of the equator is latitude. Like we're, I think, 34 degrees or 37 degrees. We're 47 degrees, excuse me. I remember that because Salem, Oregon is 45 degrees. We're 47 degrees north by 1 something west. All right, now the longitude lines, guys, go by degrees. They start out in a place called Greenwich, England. Okay, and that's why our latitude and longitude lines are measured from there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while I don't have a sextant, I do have my world famous compass down here. All right, this is also used to measure what? Okay, tell you where you're going, right? Okay, so this is my compass. And so not only did he have a sextant, but he had a compass to tell you where he was going. Okay, so here we go. We're going to continue on. Okay, beginning in 1807, Thompson and his men established friendly relationships with the Indian tribes west of the Rockies. Boy, that's awesome. All right, the first time he crossed the Continental Divide and saw streams flowing westward, he wrote in his journal, "May God in his mercy give me to see where its waters run into the ocean." His prayers were answered 4 years later. That's because David Thompson was a devoted Christian. He was a brother in the Lord. Thompson founded Kootenai House in Canada, the first trading post on the Columbia River. Write that down somewhere. Kootenai House. Okay, or let's see. Thompson devoted for, okay. Yeah, make sure you write down Kootenai House on the Columbia River. Okay. Okay, here we go. I lost my place, excuse me. All right, anyway, guys, here we go. Thompson said first Indian tribes of the Rockies, first he crossed the Continental Divide. Here we go. Okay. Thompson found the Kootenai House, the first trading post, here we go, and Kalispell House. Now I'm back, it's down at the bottom of page 87. Kalispell House in northern Idaho. He established Spokane House, not Spokane, Spokane House, a trading post located a few miles from present-day Spokane. And as many of you guys know, one of my favorite places is just east of Spokane. It's a place in Post Falls, Idaho called the Buck Knife Factory. Once again, owned by Christians. All right, now let's go to page 88. It's got your map here. All right, take a look there, your map. Okay, exploration of the Northwest by Britain and the United States. Hang on a second. Okay, Thompson, a faithful Christian, daily read his Bible. Yes, I've got my Bible here, guys. Okay, make sure you read at least a couple of verses a day, right, guys? All right. Trust me. Okay, daily read his Bible, prayed and filled his, and make sure you're praying too. Okay? Guys, prayed and filled his Bible, his journal, with thanksgiving for God's blessings. He told the Indians and his co-workers about the Lord and read the Word of God to them. He was one of the first men to shine the light of Christ in the Northwest. David Thompson refused to use liquor as a trade item with the tribes because he had seen how alcoholism had destroyed the lives of many Indians in the East. And that's true. It's destroyed a lot of people's lives. Okay? Once, and by the way, guys, hey, remember, if you ever, I mean, during this time, your folks aren't around, look, don't drink. All right? I'm telling you this. I've been clean and sober almost 34 years now. Okay? Coming up the end of 31 March, it'll be 34 years. I don't touch alcohol. I stay away from it. All right? And then I remember a lot of great things. Okay. Anyway, guys, he saw how alcoholism had harmed the Indians. Once, when the company demanded that he trade several barrels of rum with the Indians, he packed the barrels on a cantankerous mule that had the habit of bucking off cargo. That was smart. Soon the barrels were smashed to bits and all the rum lost. Yes. Okay. Okay. While selling furs east of the Rockies in 1810, Thompson heard about John Jacob Astor's plan to launch an American fur trading empire headquartered on the Columbia River. Thompson determined to get there first. He raced west across the mountains with a team of 7 men. He located the headwaters of the Columbia. He wrote in his journal, after praying the Almighty to protect and prosper us on our voyage to the ocean, early on the 3rd of July we embarked. They canoed the entire length of the river, but when they reached the mouth of the Columbia on July 14, 1811, they found a crude fort built by American fur traders. Astor's men had arrived a few months earlier. After standing on the Pacific shore, Thompson wrote, "Thus I've completed the survey of this part of North America from sea to sea, by almost innumerable astronomical observations, have determined the position of mountains, lakes, and rivers, and other remarkable places in the northern part of this continent." Thompson, the greatest land geographer of his day, produced a detailed and accurate map of the Pacific Northwest and northern Canada. I'm sorry, Western Canada. Eh? Okay. Remember when you're in Canada, if they ever open the border back, learn to say a lot. All right. Thompson's associate, Simon Fraser, explored large tracts of British Columbia for the Northwest Company. He traced the course of the Fraser River from the mountains to the sea and established several fur trading posts in British Columbia. All right. Well, you know what, guys? I've got some audio. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Simon Fraser Pipe Band. All right. Simon Fraser University Pipe. If you're into Scottish music, all right, these guys are great. Probably one of the best bands I've ever heard. Mr. Winter being an old Scottish guy. Okay. While I'm talking. Okay. Anyway, guys. Little bagpipe music here. Give us a little bit of good music here with Simon Fraser U. They're a good band. All right? Highly recommend them. Awesome pipe music. All right. Astor's bold plan. Now we're going to go to John Jacob Astor. Not John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, but John Jacob Astor. Okay, a wealthy New Yorker. A wealthy New Yorker. All right. Owner of the American Fur Company, read about the Lewis and Clark expedition with great interest. He launched a plan to establish a string of fur trading forts from the Mississippi to the Pacific Ocean. Astor outfitted and sent 2 expeditions to the Columbia River, one by land and the other by sea. Both met with disaster. Captain Jonathan Thorne, who commanded Astor's ship Tonquin, proved unfit to lead. His domineering tactics and reckless behavior led directly to the deaths of many crewmen. When the Tonquin arrived off the Columbia Bar on March 22, 1811, it faced stormy weather and rough seas. I've been in rough seas off the coast here. You don't want to be there. All right? Maybe that's what gave me the mustache and glasses I have now.